Hi guys, this is George back here with another video and welcome to another episode here working in Enchanted Land in Planet Coaster, where as you can see today I'm going to be building a Schwarzkopf looping coaster. So the with this video it actually took quite a long time to build this coaster. Normally I build the coaster quite quickly and then it's the theming that takes a while. With this one I don't know what it is, but with this type of ride it launches its way up the lift hill, and I don't really know why it does that. So I did have to mess around with the speed quite a bit and the acceleration rate to make it so it was a normal lift hill rather than a launch up the lift hill. I ended up doing quite a lot of work on the coaster itself, so I do change the lift hill a little bit later, and I make it a bit taller. So you can see here, just working on the first drop there. This ride has two inversions. So as you can see, yeah, the loop wasn't working out too well for that point there. So just changing some of the track pieces around a bit. And then there's the first loop. Yeah, I think I get rid of this whole section in a minute from the start, from the top of the lift hill, and I redo it. Here we go, we're about to see, I think, there we go. So there's another kind of, it goes back up and then it's going to drop back down from there. There we go. Yep. I've decided at that point I wanted to make it taller. There we go. There goes all that section. And yeah, it's very similar. It's pretty much exactly the same now from how it goes in. It's just got a bigger first drop. But yeah, you'll actually see later on I go back to the lift hill and I think I do something to the first turn where it turns out the station because it was a bit too steep, so I changed that up a bit. You'll see that later on. Here we go. So yeah, it took about half an hour to build this coaster, maybe a bit less, 25 minutes maybe. There we go. So of course, I've got lots of inspiration from different Schwarzkopf roller coasters. Of course, they're no longer a manufacturer in production. However, I have been on a couple of their roller coasters. I've ridden Scorpion at Busch Gardens, Tampa. I haven't done it for a few years. The last time I did it was 2019. I've only ever done it once. And of course, I've also done Munich looping or Olympia looping. However, when it comes to Hyde Park Winter Wonderland, it's known as Munich looping. So I've done that quite a few times. And then I'm also using a lot of others for inspiration. They're the ones I've been on. However, there are loads of different Schwarzkopf looping coasters out there. There we go. You can see going into a helix here. So yeah, this ride's very compact. So there are a lot of near miss elements with other track sections. And you'll see that it was part of the other thing that took time was trying to actually fit the ride in because lots of different sections of track all weaving around each other. It's all squeezed into quite a small space. So yeah, I needed to make sure it wasn't getting too close to other pieces of track. You can see quite a lot of the coasters now in, and this is actually going to be oriental themed. So of course this is an amusement park, so I don't want a proper themed experience here. However, with this ride, it's one of the more modern rides in this park. You imagine this would have probably been built around the 1990s kind of time, and by that point you might have started seeing a bit more theming in parks, or if not, they might have gone back later on to do theming. And therefore, it's something like with Tivoli Gardens, a park that I've referenced a lot when building this park. It's a big inspiration for me with this park. They've got a B&M Flawless coaster there. And as much as that park is an amusement park, they've got a B&M Flawless that's oriental themed, and I really like the style of it. And they've got similar kind of theming in Planet Coaster, and I really wanted to kind of do my own version of it, but in this vintage park, and not have a more modern B&M ride. I wanted to have a Schwarzkopf looper instead. So that's what I do with this. And you can see now that the coaster layout is complete, and I'm now going around smoothing all of the corners. There we go. Yeah, and then shortly it'll be time to start on the theming. So yeah, there's a few different oriental buildings that go in, some lanterns, lots of landscaping, and you'll see all of that go in shortly. There we go, just working on that helix there. Making it nice and smooth. Of course, there are quite a lot of sections where quite a lot of whippy transitions where you go from you're turning one way and then it switches to the other. A few S bends on here, so it needs to be a smooth ride experience. There we go. You can see one of those near miss elements created by another section of track there. There we go, making sure the ride can run on 2 trains there. And then there we go, I'm just changing the colours of the ride now. You can see there we go, some new colours for the trains. And then here's a POV of the ride. It's all sped up. However, I will show a proper POV of this in the final episode of this series. You can see there that I'm now doing some work on the lift hill because I thought that it was too steep. There we go. I think this is the point where I get rid. Yeah, there you go. You can see I'm trying to make adjustments to it. I was considering banking it at first, but then I thought, no, that's just not how one of these coasters would have been built. So you can see that I've decided to just start again with the lift hill, and I'm redoing it. There we go. So I'm making the corner a bit less sharp, and then it's also not as steep now as well. But you can see I did have to rework the whole lift hill to be able to fit this in. There we go. Yeah, it didn't take too much time. I just had to change the drop up a little bit, which wasn't too bad. Smoothing it there. There we go. It looks pretty similar to how it did before, just with a not as steep lift hill. So yeah, I do like that. And there you go. You can see the catwalk going on there as well. There we go. There's a look at it running around the track. I'm really happy with this coaster. I really like the layout, and I'm really happy with the theming as well once that's done. This is definitely my favourite roller coaster that I've built in this park. There you go. You can see making some changes to the banking there. I didn't think the banking was steep enough there, so I changed that up a bit. And here you go. You can see a sped up POV of the ride now. There we go. Bit more smoothing there. And I don't think I did this on camera. I actually did quite a lot of work off camera for this because it was a lot of kind of placing trees and the same style of buildings. So I didn't do it all on camera. But I think it was off camera where I actually put the name in for this coaster. So I've decided to call this dragon Steel Dragon. So, of course, I wanted a kind of modern name, and steel kind of works with this because a lot of the other coasters in this park are wooden. And then also, it's kind of inspired by Iron Dragon at Cedar Point as well. And I wanted it to be themed to a dragon, with it being an oriental theme. So I wanted it to be a dragon. And later on, you'll see a big dragon statue go out in front of the station as well. But here we go. You can see that getting built now. Yeah, the reason why I'm adding this second kind of layer on is because those pillars kind of stick out a bit from the main wall, and it looked a bit weird with them just kind of suspended there. So I decided to change that up a bit, and I actually take some of these sections out and put in some windows as well, as you can see. There we go. So now I started trying out different ways of doing the roof. This isn't the final design. I end up changing it up a bit because I decide to use some different pieces instead. There you go. You can see I've changed that up there. You can see I'm doing all these different arches in the roof now. you go, all of them are now in. And then another layer of these kind of pillars are going on top. So yeah, this is supposed to look a bit like an oriental temple, kind of. There we go. Putting the second layer on there. Yeah, just deciding what to do for the roof there, because of course it's only it's only one in terms of the length. There we go. So just decided with that style of roof, and yeah, those sections towards the bottom as well, where the roof is, that aren't covered. I do cover that off camera, I believe, because I forgot to while I was filming this bit, and then I ended up moving on to the next section. Oh, there we go. I ended up accidentally moving it there, which I didn't want to do. There we go. You can see all of these gaps just being filled in there. There we go. We've got some roof decorations going in here. Here we go. Oh, this is the point where I noticed that section wasn't done. But yeah, I do make some more changes a bit lower down on the building. Off camera, here we go. You can see some more details going in there. There you go. You got some wall trims going up there. Just about filling the space in, making it look quite grand. And then you've got these lanterns going on here as well. Another thing I do off camera with this ride is some lighting to make it look good at night. A lot of it was very dark around this area of the park, so I did add some lighting in off camera, and I'll show you that in the final episode. Of course, you've got these lanterns here that light up the buildings a bit, however, it's not enough to light up the entire area. And here we go, you can see the queue and exits going in here. There we go, just weaving that around a bit. And there we go, that's now joined up to the path. Here you go, you can see some roof decorations going in just there. And another one going in on the opposite side, of course. There we go, bit of a cut in the video there, and you can see that a lot has now changed. So all of this section I did off camera, that's building just there is a food unit, and then you can also see all the rocks out the front with the dragon statue there, and you can also see lots of trees going in. Here we go, there's another building going in here. So yeah, there's a couple of buildings that don't really serve a purpose. There's this one here, and then there's another one towards the helix as well, and then you'll see lots of trees going in. Lots of this coaster is over water as well. There we go, there's that building nearly done, just filling in the space in the roof there. There we go. I might go back to this building at some point because this is definitely the least detailed one out of the four that are around here. But then again, this one isn't so important because it doesn't actually serve a purpose. This is just to kind of fill the space in the ride area. There we go, making sure that lines up there. Moving that across a little bit. I didn't want there to be too big of a gap between the wall trims. There we go, just putting some more trees in there. I end up taking a few of these trees out as well because they end up getting too close to the track. I don't think I did that on camera though, because I went for another POV once all the theming was in, and then I made a couple of tweaks. There we go, you can see these kind of panels going in there, and some more lanterns. So this section here is a viewing area, so you can see that there's no trees going in here because with the fact that you can't really see the ride from the front because the station blocks it a bit, I wanted there to be a viewing area from the side so you can still see it because I think it's quite an impressive looking ride and I really like the layout of it. So I did want you to be able to, like if this was a real park, I would want you to be able to still get some good views of the coaster. So that's what this section here is designed for. So yeah, this is going to be the most, or one of the most thrilling rides in the park. There are a couple more roller coasters that are going to be built. There's 3 more episodes to come after this one. 2 of them are going to be building roller coasters, and then one of them will be opening the park. Originally, I was going to keep doing I was doing when I built the coasters and build the coasters in real time and then do the theming off camera. But then I decided, you know what, this park's starting to get laggy now. I just want to build the last couple of rides and get it done, and therefore less episodes, so I can do the theming and the coaster in one episode rather than spending 2 episodes building the coaster, and then it takes more time. There we go, you can see another building going in just here. Had to do a bit of a different shape for that one because of how the track was positioned. And here we go, I've now spent a while trying to look for a roof piece that connects those 2 sides together. However, I don't think there is one. So I ended up having to get rid of that and putting in a different roof. There we go, you can see all that's gone now. And I just end up putting a flat roof in. And then another layer going on there. A couple of kind of turrets, if you want to call them that. There we go, those pieces were a little bit too high, so I just had to lower them down, then lower the roof down so it's all lined up. There we go, we've got, oh no, I didn't end up putting that up. I thought it looked too similar to what was already on the building. Here we go, you can see some lanterns going in just here. There we go, and more details going onto the walls there. You got a bit of an archway there. Making sure the door was in the middle there as well. Yeah, just having a look at different kind of pieces that I could put on the building. Eventually I just decided to stick with the same style and put these kind of frames on the walls. We've got more lanterns going in there as well. There we go, so now time to put all the different trees in. So yeah, originally I was going to put trees in here, but then I decided, you know what, I actually want some water around this ride. So I was going to have the lake just in the middle of the helix, but then I decided actually I quite like the look of it being around more of the coaster. So most of the coaster is actually over water. There we go, you can see that kind of stretches all around there. And then you can see some more terrain work going on there. But that is now coming to the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at George Kelly and follow me on Twitter at George Kelly. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, everyone, and I will see you all later. Bye.